Moneywise Interviews is brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union.
Welcome back, and some encouraging news this morning as the unemployment rate was just released, and it shows that the unemployment rate now sits at 13%. That is much lower than what economists had projected. And joining us this morning to dissect this new report is Dave Anderson. He is a managing partner with Moneywise Wealth Management. Good morning, Dave. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely, Alex. My pleasure.
Okay, let's talk about this report. I mean, this is great news. I mean, there was supposed to be a grim report coming out this morning showing that the unemployment rate was going to be at 20%. Some economists projected, meaning that could have been one of the highest unemployment rates that our nation has ever seen since the Great Depression. Can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing? Are you shocked by this report?
I am totally shocked by this. I mean, look at that reversal, expecting 8 million job losses, and instead we add 2.5 million jobs. So that's excellent news. Now, it doesn't mean our problems are over, but it shows us a few things. Number one, it shows that the intervention that government took, the PPP loan, the stimulus checks, all of those helped. Plus, people adjusted their habits and continued to shop. They just did it online. So it is confusing, but it's also very exciting to see this news.
And we're looking at the Dow futures right now. The stock market is going to open up in about 10 minutes or so. And the Dow Jones future looks like it is skyrocketing right now, up 592 points. Again, this is a really encouraging sign here for the unemployment. We should still note, though, that the unemployment rate sits at 13%. That is still incredibly high compared to where we were, in early March, where unemployment was sitting about 3 to 4%. So still very high. But what you were on our show about a month ago saying when all this, when the PPP was going out, when our stimulus checks were coming out, and you were saying how necessary it was for the government to be involved in order to prevent a Great Depression from happening again. Does this kind of prove that point?
It does in a way, but I will say that it's a double-edged sword, because the government intervening to bail out individual Americans has been good. It's stabilized the economy. It's helped a lot of people, but it's come at the cost of more long-term debt. So it kind of depends on what really concerns you. If you're really concerned about long-term debt, you should continue to be concerned. If not, well, you should feel really optimistic that the intervention seems to have really helped the slowdown and to pick things back up.
Unfortunately, the unemployment, again, is still pretty high. I mean, millions of people are still out of jobs. What is your message to those people who have been laid off, to those people who have been furloughed and still uneasy about the future of our economy? What is your message to those people?
Well, here's one thing that I would say. The news today that we got, that we added 2.5 million jobs, does not bode well for those still on unemployment. Here's what I mean. It bodes well in the fact that, hey, things are getting better. But in terms of those waiting for more stimulus, this probably puts a lid on that. You'll probably have our government saying, I don't know if we need more stimulus because it looks like we're recovering on our own. So that means for you really have to dig your heels in. If you don't have a job, you've been laid off, and you don't know if you're going to return to the other job, make your new job preparing yourself to get employed. Work on your own human capital and increase the skill level that you have. Start applying other places. You're going to have to do a lot to get back in the workforce.
All right, so again, there's still a long ways to go, but at least some encouraging news here on this Friday morning. All right, Dave Anderson, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you on next Friday.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, more news.